come away with their 5th straight win, but Cooper Flagg, who was the #1 overall pick, of course, did everything he could, dropping 49 points, which is the most by a teenager in NBA history. So from roommates to rookie sensations, Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple combined for 83 points in Thursday's matchup. Hornets took on the Mavericks, of course. The 83 points is the 3rd most by 2 opposing rookies in a game in NBA history. Brian Windhorst and Monica McNutt are here now. What's up, girl?
You sound great.
Oh, I do. Thank you.
Hey.
We'll talk more about that.
Hey, gentlemen.
Look at that. Hold on. Look at the whoa.
I know. She's fabulous.
Look at the hat. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. Okay.
I say it's
I like
Friday.
the look. I like it.
Just was like, let's have a little fun.
She's very
I also
Parisian.
have my sassy mustache if I need to tell you to chill out for a second.
She came with props. Wendy, I'll start with you.
I like it.
I doubt Wendy came with props. Wendy, despite the loss, what did you learn about Cooper Flagg last night?
I didn't learn anything. I already knew how special this guy is. I've been covering the NBA for 24 years. I've seen 3 teenagers before Cooper Flagg who have been blown away impressive to me. One was LeBron, one was Luka Doncic, and one was Victor Wembanyama. When it comes to the way Cooper Flagg can control the game at both ends of the floor, the only one he compares to is LeBron. Now, he is a different game than LeBron because he's more of a defensive dominating player than LeBron was as a 19-year-old. LeBron had a more polished scoring game than Cooper does. Although I'll tell you right now, Cooper's jump shot is better than LeBron's was at the same age. But the way Cooper Flagg can do everything, handle the ball, create, rebound, go down to the other end, guard multiple different positions. And what really blows me away about Cooper Flagg, and you saw it in this game, because even though he had 49 points, he was furious when he lost this game. His competitiveness, particularly his competitiveness defensively, is what sets him apart. When Luka Doncic gets beat on defense, the only thing he's mad about is the referees for not calling a foul at the other end when he had the ball. Victor Wembanyama is like that as well with his competitiveness, but he can't influence the game offensively like the way Cooper can. This is the most complete teenager we have seen since LeBron James. And like LeBron, I think Cooper Flagg's ceiling is enormous. And that's why last night was a good night for the Dallas Mavericks, because even though they lost, they need to lose every game they can the rest of this season because they need to get a high draft pick. Because last night was an example of why tanking is popular in the NBA. Because on one side, you have the #1 pick who is looking like a future superstar. And on the other side, you have the #4 pick for Charlotte Con Knipple, who is having perhaps the most impressive shooting season for an NBA rookie in history. At the very least, the most impressive shooting season since Steph Curry, okay? Con Knipple is absolutely incredible. He never stops moving. He's shooting 8 3-pointers a game and making them at Steph Curry rates. Both of these guys are examples of not only the future of the NBA, but examples of why tanking is rampant, because this is the way that you change the future of your team.
I never saw, I never saw this, Monica, Wendy, Shay. I never saw this kid, Knipple, looking away. I mean, he's shooting 43% from three-point range. He's shooting 43% from three-point range.
An 8.
Okay? And averaging 19 a game. I did not see this. This kid is really, really impressive. He really is. But he's no Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg is something special. He really is. And I don't need to add more to what Wendy said in terms of what he brings to the game defensively, how much he cares, how much of an all-around complete player he is. He only shoots like 29% from three-point range. Got to improve on that, but you could see the improvement. And no fear whatsoever. Got a handle, can get to the basket, doesn't need help in that regard, can finish at the basket, good size, got a lot of heart, ain't scared. Dallas lucked up getting this one big time, make no mistake about it. Cooper Flagg is going to be a superstar in this league sooner than later. He is special.
I think it's appropriate that you bring up the three-point shooting, especially in contrast to his Duke teammate and former roommate last night. But I think the thing that has impressed me the most, while I remember preparing for the draft, and Wendy, it's great that you brought up Victor Wembanyama, because I had the same sort of feeling talking to Cooper that I had about Victor coming into covering the draft the last couple of years. but I did not anticipate Cooper having to bear this much of the load this quickly, right? You looked at that roster and was like, okay, AD, like Kyrie might come back. They've got pieces. I think the way that he stepped into it, like we all remember earlier in the season, the conversations around Jason Kidd and wanting him to do more off the dribble, using screens differently, all of that. He has stepped into it so early into his career and just taken full hold of it. I mean, the other day when the Mavs were in New York, it wasn't this type of performance, but you could see him as a foundational guy. And so I think all of the comps that we've heard, shout out to our colleague Corey Alexander, who actually comped him to a Scottie Pippen in terms of his defensive ability, which you highlighted as you began your conversation, Wendy. So I think this young man, the thing that struck me last night was he is 19. Like, he is just scratching the surface, and his work ethic was one of the many things that people raved about coming into the draft.
And it's not just the talent. It's not like we're sitting up here talking about, oh, my God, his three-point shot. Oh, my God, you know, his handle. Whatever. He knows how to play.
Yeah.
He knows how to play. High IQ at 19. Let's not forget that. Okay, and again, already has a better shot than anybody. You know, you coming into the league like you throw a point comparing it to LeBron James, but get to the basket, and he's still growing and growing into his body because he's going to get bigger. He's going to get more physical. The handle is not going to disappear. The passing skills are not going to disappear. One would surmise that the jump shot is going to improve, and certainly his defensive tenacity is not going to go anywhere, nor his will to win. He is the total package. Make no mistake about it. This brother's a superstar in the making, no doubt.
So
best thing I could say about him real quick, Shay, the best thing I could say about him, I wouldn't trade him for anyone in the league.
Okay, Dallas now. All right now.
Let's keep him there, okay? 49 points last night. The only other player to score more in a Mavericks loss was Dirk Nowitzki, of course. We'll see you a little bit later on. Thank you, Monica and Wendy.
Of course.
Which star quarterback is under more pressure?
Love to see it. Love to have you on, Kobe. Welcome. Kobe
Early, too. I appreciate the little highlight, man. I appreciate the highlight.
We love a good hype video.
Done.
By the way, yeah, thank you. It is bright and early. You guys got a nice win last night. Maybe that helped you get up a little bit this morning. I got to ask you, we talked about it at the beginning of the show, best record in the league since December 20th. Talk to me about vibes in the rooms right now.
Definitely a lot better than how we started, but the main thing is our leadership. I think they've done a great job of trying to make sure we keep our heads down and try to stay focused. I think not exactly how we wanted to start, but from there we were able to put our heads down, block out the drama, block out the outside noise, and really focus in on us and take it one game at a time and, just walk everybody down.
I mean, it's kind of crazy as a rookie. You've sort of already had a heck of a roller coaster season already. We're not even really halfway. I guess we're halfway. What's it been like jumping from, college into this league?
Definitely a lot of emotions. I think it's been a roller coaster so far. Coming in, as a two-way 50th pick, you don't know exactly where your role is going to be. You just got to stay ready and just I've been blessed with a lot of opportunity and, just trying to keep my head down and keep working.
Yeah, Kobe. Coming into the season, man, and you look at that roster with James Harden, Kawhi, Brad Beal, and Chris Paul, and all of these guys in the preseason, and you've been a bright spot for this group. Did you ever think in your wildest dreams you'll have an opportunity to start on this basketball team and play the way that you've been playing?
It's definitely been a blessing and surprise for, I think, everybody. I think if you asked me 6 months ago, I wouldn't say I was here. And if you asked me 2 years ago, I definitely wouldn't say I was here. So it's definitely been a blessing for me and just a humbling moment. Just stay focused and, with all these great vets and these older players around me, just trying to learn and be a sponge and soak up all the information I can.
Yeah, Kobe, having James there every day and Kawhi, you've obviously seen greatness firsthand. The Western Conference is loaded with guards. Who's been like that toughest matchup for you, obviously, in your early career?
I think we got to say Luka. I think we got to say what was last night. I think just with how the league is going and how you can't really be as physical as you want with some guys, and just the talent of him being able to score at all three levels and be able to draw fouls and still create for others. It's kind of a tough matchup for anybody.
We like to ask rookies like their coming to the league moment, or was there ever a moment where you're like, damn, like starstruck? I remember I had mine when I saw Tim Duncan for the first time. Like, was there a moment for you that you're like, wow, this is real, this is happening?
I think I got to go back to training camp. I think the first day of training camp, it was normal. I think nothing too crazy. But the second unit kind of really got at our first unit. And the next day, James and Kawhi came in blazing. And I think they beat this second unit by probably 30 in about 15 minutes. And I was like, oh, this is different.
I guess when you walk into a camp with CP and Kawhi and James, it's hard to get starstruck by anyone else.
Right.
Absolutely.
100%.
Cause I want you to take a look, man. Arguably, your best game of the season came against Steph Curry and the Warriors. What was this night like for you, man? Fading, when you're fading right, I go left. I like that right.
Oh, come back here.
You got all of it. But what was this night like? Walk me through this night.
I think just knowing with James out, you got to step into a little bit of a bigger role and just staying focused on the game plan, knowing that it's going to be a defensive night first. With Steph Curry on the other side, you got to lock in defensively and then let everything else come to me. So I was blessed to start hot and then just was able to go with the momentum.
Getting straight to your spot.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Yeah, he is. I'm a fan of the big guard. You're a big guard yourself. Is it a player that you've modeled your game after?
So I think it's just a little bit of everything. I mean, obviously a lot of KD. Currently, you just take a little bit from each and every player. I think I've watched a lot of D-Book just about how he gets to a spot. So it's been a lot of mix of different players. And, my dad's favorite player is Magic Johnson. So I kind of had to grow up being a guard.
The rookie stuff behind the scenes, whether it be pranks or things that vets have made you go and do, can you give us any?
I think the one that stands out to me is we was on the road. We were going to leave. We had a little practice day, and we were going to leave, and Kawhi tapped me on the shoulder and said, I need some headphones. So I had to find out how to get some headphones with only like 30 minutes left before we hit the bus. So.
And?
Did you get them?
You got them?
Of course. I got him 2 pairs. I got him 2 pairs. Make sure
on his card.
That's a good rook. That's a good rook.
Look, I want you to take a look at this. I want to ask you about this signature move right here that everybody was going crazy about. Oh my God. What is that? Like the step, that's your go-to? That's the one we gonna make the money on?
I think I make my money in my mid-range, so
yes,
just trying to find different ways to score out of the mid-range and, using pump fakes, pivots, and everything is where I felt the most comfortable.
Crafty move. Also, earlier this season, you took a charge on LeBron James, which is not the easiest thing to do. What were you? First of all, those courts are god-awful. What were you thinking here?
Just anything to get the dub. Anything to get the dub.
And are you still sore?
For sure. Still feel it today. I think when LeBron's coming full speed, a lot of people would think, oh, move out the way. But you got to do whatever it takes to get the win and, put your body on the line.
That is an awesome slow-mo video. All right, so the season starts 6-21. Ty Lue says, you guys, we need you to go on 35-20 run here on out. 14-3, by the way. But when he said it, did y'all think that sounds crazy? Or, okay, cool, doable?
I think we all knew in the locker room the start wasn't what we were and what we believed ourselves to be. And I think just with a lot of vet guys in the locker room and, now with the little young surge that we're going on recently, I think we all knew and believed in ourselves and think that we had to put our best foot forward going forward, and we kind of just put our head down and leaned on our vets to, lead us and put us in the right position.
What's been the biggest difference with the turnaround?
I think it's just been the leadership. I think early on we didn't really know our footing, didn't really know ourselves, and we got a couple tough breaks and just the leaders staying on us and, just developing that chemistry. I think we got a lot of great players. We have James, we have Kawhi, but, the surgence of John Collins, we know what Zoo's going to give us. Brooks had some very big games. So just leaning on everybody and knowing that it's been the next man up. We've dealt with some injuries and just trying to overcome them.
I know during that stretch when you guys were struggling a little bit trying to find your footing, T. Lue could be a laid-back coach. He coached me as well. He can kind of be laid back, don't really raise his voice. But during that stretch, did he get a little loud? Did he get a little crazy with y'all?
He definitely, showed us a little different side of him. But, him, he's going to stay level-headed. He's going to always be an optimist. So he's telling us to stay down, stay focused. He knows it's going to turn around and it's a long season. So he wasn't doing too much, but he definitely was putting the pressure on us.
That's a fact.
Hey, Kobe, I want to ask you, when the Chris Paul news dropped, obviously we were all stunned by that. Now, as a rookie, like, do you remember like where you were, or if this was going to happen, or what was your just general reaction to that?
I woke up, it was like 6 a.m. I looked at my phone was blowing up, a lot of text messages. I thought I was the one getting sent home, so I had to go check real quick. And just seeing something like that is really a weird situation, but it's something like you can't control, so you just got to stay focused, stay down, and let everything else handle itself. I think everybody knows what their job, and I just stay focused on mine.
Stay in the league long enough, you'll keep seeing some weird stuff.
I mean, you know what? I am curious, though, about sort of your thoughts, because he had just come from San Antonio, notoriously young team, seemed like everything went very smoothly. As a rookie, you know, we heard the stories like sometimes he gets on people's nerves, and he can be a lot. But did you feel that as a rookie on the team?
I feel like he was good to me. I don't have nothing against him. I don't really want to get into all the issues, you know. But I felt like he was good to me. I had a good relationship with him, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Good answer, sir. Good answer. Yeah, well done.
So, hey, you got some good media training.
Pay attention and
off to a good start.
So I played with your teammate James Harden in Houston, and I want you to tread lightly with this answer.
You just heard how he answered that.
I know. I just want him to tread lightly. Don't get too comfortable.
Of course.
But have you ever had a chance to, party with James, or have you heard any crazy party stories?
Yes.
So
the answer is yes.
I'd like to say
Red
is classified.
We focus on the season right now.
That's what
In the summer. Next season, tell us about the summer.
Next contract.
We'll get you back on. Kobe, this has been awesome, man. Good luck. You guys are crushing it. Keep doing that.
Good luck,
Thank you so much.